And I was thinking back before. Out there.
Welcome you guys to another Coffee Questions with Irish. If you guys have any questions about coffee, go ahead and throw that down in the chat. I am just going to finish drinking my coffee that I brewed here for the coffee tasting. And as I drink my coffee, I am just here to answer any questions that you guys have. Or if you guys have anything you want to share, go ahead and throw that in the chat, and I will explore what you guys have to share. If you guys have a favorite particular coffee, go ahead and throw that down in the chat. If you guys have a favorite brewing method, go ahead and throw that down in the chat as well. And if you guys just want to chat about coffee, just throw any of your questions or anything you'd like to chat about in the chat down below. Let's get that chat rolling up. And if you guys missed the coffee tasting, today we brewed the Guatemala Antigua. The Guatemala Antigua has notes of cocoa and subtle spice, and today we brewed it on the French press, the pour over, and the Chemex. I really liked the pour over today because we really got those bitter chocolate notes with the slight subtle spice, but those bitter chocolate notes really die out that the subtle spice that we get in that cup of coffee. With the pour over, we really got the really intense subtle spice. It really drove the cup of coffee, and that left your mouth with like a dry palate. So not my favorite cup of coffee on the pour over. If I were to choose this cup of coffee, I would brew it on the French press. That's my favorite brew method for this Guatemala Antigua.
No, they're going back. Gotta find the Amazon hub. They don't work. Terry said he'd help me. That lasted for about 3 minutes. And I read all the stuff online. By the airport.
Hey you guys, welcome to Coffee Questions. If you guys have any questions about today's coffee tasting, if you guys have any questions about coffee in general, if you have any questions about the different brewing methods that I did with the Chemex, the pour over, the French press, the different flavor notes that we got from the different brew methods, go ahead and throw those questions down in chat. And then if you guys have a favorite brew that you guys like to drink that we don't serve here at Starbucks or anywhere else, go ahead and throw that down in the chat too. I'd love to explore the different brews that are offered elsewhere. Also, I hope your guys' coffee is delicious this morning, and I hope it's nice and warm. We are live downtown Palm Springs, California at the Reserve Starbucks doing a coffee tasting of the Guatemala Antigua. If you guys missed the actual coffee tasting, there is a link of the video down below. And then later on today, there will be an edited shorter version of the coffee tasting. So go ahead and check that out, you guys. And then if you guys have any questions about today's coffee tasting, go ahead and throw those questions down below as well.
Do you mind if you sit right here?
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
How's it going, Maria? Today I'm tasting the Guatemala Antigua, and then we did it on the pour over, the Chemex, and the French press. And then we talked about like when coffee made its way to Guatemala, and then we also talked about how like we talked about the demographic, how it lies in between 3 volcanoes, and that's how it gets its flavor, and like why it's so like complex and bold. Is because of that volcanic soil. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Now I'm just answering questions and drinking coffee. Yeah. You too. Hey you guys, welcome to the coffee questions. If you guys have any questions about today's coffee tasting, go ahead and throw those questions down in chat. If you guys missed today's coffee tasting, there is a link in the list of videos to that coffee tasting. But today we tasted the Guatemala Antigua, and we brewed it 3 different ways on the French press, the Chemex, and the pour over. So if you guys have any questions on the different brew methods that I did, if you have any questions about the coffee, go ahead and throw those questions down in chat. And then also, if you guys have a favorite brew that you guys like to drink, go ahead and throw that down in the chat too. I'd love to explore your guys' favorite coffee, and maybe we could talk a little bit about your favorite coffee as well. Thank you.
That was my job. I love coffee.
It's not an official job yet, but you know, once I get enough followers and stuff like that, I'll make it. Yeah. It's pretty fun. I really like to learn about like where the coffee comes from and like the history of it all, because not a lot of people know that coffee comes from it was discovered a little over 1,000 years ago, in the year like around 1000.
Yeah.
And shortly after it was discovered, it was pretty much hoarded by all the royals. So like you have like the French, Arabs, and English royals that pretty much hoarded amongst themselves. And so it was used as a commodity, like a currency between them. And so if you were a normal person like you and me, we wouldn't get to drink coffee back then. And then even if we did get our hands on coffee, it was so expensive, you didn't drink it. You were like, you know, you could use this to buy a whole lot of food. Yeah, exactly. It was like if you drank it, you felt too guilty drinking it, because, you know, you can get a lot more stuff, more for your family, for the coffee. And so normal people didn't get to drink coffee. And so one of my favorite stories that I recently did is the Jamaica Blue Mountain story, because it's a direct story of how coffee made its way from the royals. So now that we know that the coffee was only available in the royals back then, we go a little bit ahead of time to 1723, and we learn that French King Louis XV sent 3 coffee plants to the small island of Martinique. And then 5 years after that, in 1728, the governor of Martinique gifted the governor of Jamaica. Oh no. Just tell them you dropped it and they should give you a new one.
Okay. Okay.
I work for Starbucks as well, so they should.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like a direct story on how Jamaica coffee comes directly from the French royals. And that's the reason why it's one of my favorite stories, is because we don't get a lot of stories that show how coffee made its way from the royals to the normal person. And that's one of those stories. Follow my channel. If you guys have any questions about the Jamaica Blue Mountain that I was just talking about, go ahead and throw those questions down in the chat. I would more than love to elaborate on a little bit of the Jamaica Blue Mountain. And then if you guys want to watch the full video, there is a video dedicated to Jamaica Blue Mountain in the list of videos as well. What she had was enough.
Yeah.
It's YouTube and then Instagram, yeah. Live with Irish is the channel name.
Oh, I with Irish is the what?
Is the channel name. Hey you guys, welcome to the live stream. If you guys have any questions about today's coffee tasting, go ahead and throw that down in the chat. Today we tasted the Guatemala Antigua. It is a delicious cup of coffee with notes of cocoa and subtle spice. And if you guys would like to know a little bit about the region that it came from or the history of the coffee, go ahead and throw that down into chat. And then if you guys want to watch the full video, there is a link in the list of videos down below.
So, what's the...
Yeah, my favorite part is that Starbucks actually lets me do my live stream on the patio. So like I normally do it, I have like a studio set up in my apartment where like I have like a whole live streaming studio. So I do that on Tuesdays, and then every Friday I do it here on the patio.
So,
What's that? Absolutely, it's one of the best ways I can talk about it to people walking by. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
what is this? It's like, so sorry, sir. You requested. So, the circles rotate. People can hear the garden. People who didn't know the whole story apparently was beginning to think of it. I would
She loves that spot. It's warm. That lady there was standing behind me.
Oh, okay.
We were just standing there. I'm like, oh, that lady hurt.
They did it in spite. Alright guys, I have finished my coffee, so I am going to wrap it up for today. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Have a great day, and then don't forget to join me this Tuesday as we feature a special coffee that is dedicated to providing jobs to people with autism and disabilities. So that's going to be super cool. We're going to explore that coffee shop and explore the coffee that they serve, and we're going to explore a little bit about how they provide jobs to disabilities and like what they do for the people with autism and how they're able to do what they do to provide jobs to people with autism and disabilities. It's going to be super awesome. Just the fact that we can learn a little bit about how we can create that experience for everyone, not just a limited amount of people. is really cool. So join me this Tuesday as we explore that special coffee and we explore how we can provide jobs to people with disability and autism. Thanks again, you guys. Have a great day.